Hi guys, it's B. Welcome back to Be Real. This is the second one of these. First of all, thank you so much for the reaction to last week's one. I've got lovely subscribers anyway, and I don't get, touch wood, I don't get a lot of trolls or meanness or negativity on my channel or my Instagram, just the odd person. And I haven't had any lately, and sometimes the more honest I am about things, the more it invites and attracts that kind of criticism. So I'm really grateful for the support that I've got. One thing that I need to point out is that a lot of my friends through social media that like to watch my videos have said that my new videos, I've done quite a few in the last couple of months and they haven't been coming up on their feed. So I did put a little thing on Instagram just saying to people, look, I'm doing videos, I'm back. So if you want to make sure that you get notified when I post a video, click the little bell, and not only will you be subscribed, but you'll get notified when there's something new from me. Also, I wanted to thank everybody I asked for tips on face, high SPF creams for the face, like 40, 50, and I had loads of suggestions. I have bought a couple. I bought a Roche-Posay one from Boots and another one, but what I'm enjoying the most is, this isn't opened yet because I'm halfway through another one. I am just going to carry on with the Clarins, this one, because I haven't found anything that I like as much. It's like a water-based kind of milk. The thing that I like the best about this is that halfway through the day you can apply a bit more on top of your makeup and it doesn't mess your makeup up and doesn't make you have that white cast. I do need to show this to my nurse who's supervising my Obagi skincare, because it may be that it needed to be that horrible greasy thick sunscreen that they provide in order to protect the other products you're using. I don't know, but this is what I'm using at the minute, and it means that I can wear makeup. My skin is awful since starting the Obagi 2 weeks ago now. It's not like my skin is red or flaking or reacting to that skincare. Quite the opposite. I feel like that skincare is just so simple, the routine, that I'm not able to deal with the things that are just everyday problems for me, like congestion and blackheads on my nose and exfoliating. Like, it's got AHAs and a bit of glycolic in it, but I just feel like my face feels dirty. I just want to go and like use a Clarisonic or have a deep cleansing facial or microdermabrasion, because I'm just using the steps in the Obagi, and then I'm looking at my face in the morning and I'm just like, it feels like bumpy and a bit dry, and so I'm not really enjoying it. I understand that if I get to the end of the 3 months and my brown spots have really faded, then it will be worth it. But I'm worried because my skin's dry, it looks more lined, it looks older. Like, am I doing damage to my skin not doing all of my anti-aging stuff that I normally would do? So, I don't know. I'm going to do questions that people have asked me first, and then see how much time is left to talk about some like favourites of the week and update you on like various things that we've been talking about every week, like weight loss and stuff. So somebody had asked me to talk about this Kate Spade wallet that I showed. I haven't filmed it yet, but I think it's going to be this week's video. So last week's extra video was my fragrance collection, which again, people seem to really enjoy. Thank you very much. I talk absolute rubbish when I talk about fragrance. I've heard myself describing an imaginary scene of like what is it? Like a guy in the south of France with a short sleeved shirt, blah, 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 because that's what I think of when I smell this certain fragrance. Like, people get me, that's great. Thank you that you get me. You don't just think I'm mental. I can't describe notes and things like that because I don't understand it. But people seem to respond to me just saying what I liked, and got some suggestions. And loads of you like the same things as me, so that was fun. But anyway, so one of my next video is definitely going to be like the things that I love that are not as high end, because that seems to really strike a chord with people. Like, yes, it's fine. There's loads of us here on YouTube talking about how much we love our Chanel bags and stuff, but that's just not accessible or attainable to most people, let's face it. And I don't want to be just unaware. So I would like to talk about things that people can enjoy, even if their budgets are different and stuff like that. And lots of people, this is still quite expensive, but it's brilliant. So I really wanted to just share with you some of the things that I really enjoy as much as my high-end things, but that don't cost the earth. And this is a definite favourite, this Kate Spade wallet. I've just looked up what it's called and I've bloody forgotten already. Just look on her website. If you click on the wallets, you will get to a wallet. It's the only one that just has a single snap and this zip on the back. It's something Street. It's either the Charlotte Street or the Crosby Street, and it's the Stacy, I think. There only seems to be 2 colours at the moment. I didn't look in the sale section. There might be a sale section. That's how I found this one. So the regular retail price of this here in the UK is £98, which I still think is good value because it's just held up so well. But you can usually get these for 50% off. If you shop around different sites that carry Kate Spade, or find this wallet on Kate Spade and then get the code or the correct number and then do an internet search, you will find various colours that are like out of season. That's the way I would go. So this one is like a lovely lavendery purple in Saffiano. I've stuffed it randomly to show you because the person who asked the question said that, and I completely get where you're coming from, that sometimes wallets that are open in the sides, when you stuff them, they're too open and they look really messy. And you can just get your cards like that. So yes, I will say that can be an issue. This wallet has lots of card slots and lots of storage, but if you fully utilize all that storage, it can look a bit bulky. So I have just shoved randomly like 10 cards and some receipts and things in these side pockets, and you can see that that makes the wallet thicker, and it looks like that. Now that doesn't really bother me, but if it bothers you, then go for a wallet that doesn't open right out, or that has a zip then, because it makes it look a lot neater. Like the old style Zippy Compact wallet was like that. It had the cards all vertically. People loved that wallet, but then it went like that and you zipped it up. The Victorine wallet is similar to this from Louis Vuitton. It's just not a long wallet. Like this is a small version of a long wallet. That wallet, yeah, when you have a lot of things, it's very open in the side, and you can people say they enjoy just taking their bank card in the store and just pulling it like that. They don't even open the wallet, but I don't like that because I worry about cards falling out. So yes, I use this and I enjoy it, but I don't fill it right up with all these cards. I just use a couple of the slots for the cards that I need to use, and then the other ones I put in something else or in here, because that's separate and it doesn't make the wallet bulky. And you can put a couple of cards in there. Don't really use it for coins because it's got white lining, and I just always have my coins in my round coin purse or something. So yeah, I highly recommend this wallet. It's got a very, very thin, neat glazing. I mean, Louis Vuitton could really learn a thing or two from some cheaper brands about how to do glazing, because their glazing is I find very thick and rubbery, and it catches and it peels, and we all end up having to get things reglazed. But I've got loads of things that are glazed that aren't a problem, except my Louis Vuitton things. Go figure. But the glazing seems to be this very shiny glazing that doesn't have a problem where there's movement. You know, you're doing this and it's fine. And I've used this now for at least 2 years off and on, and it looks completely brand new. There are no marks. So yeah, with bright pops of colour, I go slightly lower end than Chanel and Louis Vuitton, and that works for me. Someone else asked me to talk about my little agenda. This is the Agenda PM in monogram. I wanted one for years. I finally got one through customer services by ordering it because it was just out of stock. I love it. I like the size. It doesn't work for everybody, but the bigger ones just don't work for me. I don't have a desk where I have my stuff set up. I wanted something to take out with me to write appointments in when I arrange them, because I will see a friend and say, let's go and do this next Friday, and I never remember to come home and write it down. So I like to take this with me unless I've got a tiny bag, and then I will make a note in my phone and copy the note into here when I get home. I used to use the calendar function in my iPhone. It just doesn't work for me. I don't like it. I like to see things written down in black and white, and they make more sense to me. If you have a really complicated week with tons of appointments, this might not work for you. This is a week on 2 pages, and it's plenty for me, and then I write any little notes or things I must do that week in here. I did find with the Louis Vuitton full set of inserts that it was very full and it was hard to like close these rings, so I'm taking out diary pages as I go. I took out anything that was unnecessary, like there was extra pages in that didn't really mean anything to me. They're all in the box, and I don't think I'll get the Louis Vuitton ones again because I don't think they represent great value for money and they're nothing special, so I'll just use Filofax pocket size fit in these. But yeah, I really like it. You can also use this as a wallet by having your diary in there and your addresses, and you can use the 3 card slots. And I don't know where it is, but I had a Filofax clear plastic like wallet with a little plastic zip that used to be in my old one of these, which was a Mulberry one, and you could put coins in there and you could still close it. So a very versatile piece. Some little, gosh, my legs are going to sleep. I've been sat here for a while. I already filmed this once and it was a total disaster, so I started again. So I'm just going to move because my leg has gone to sleep. Some things I'm really enjoying this week, and then we're just going to do some little updates and then we're done. So my favourite little wallet thing at the moment has been this Gucci Marmont card case. So a little bit of a sidebar about this. I have 2 things with this style hardware now, this card case and my belt, and I'm happy with that. I don't want to get, oh, you've gone wonky now, I don't want to get a bag because I think they're really lovely, but I think I have got other flap bags that I like. I don't need any more flap bags. I did like the bag with the zip on the top, but I just feel like, for me, I think that it's really fun and it's really in, but when it's out it will be really out, and I don't like being stuck with things that have had their like moment and they're out unless I truly love them, and I don't care that they're out. I don't care when things go out of fashion, but I just don't think that the big hardware on the bags, that I would like love it in 2 years time. So I'm happy with the 2 little bits that I've got, and I will just keep them forever because they're not something you like. My belt, I don't often wear it so that you can really see the hardware. Anyway, the reason I'm showing you this is because lots of people, when I was looking for a card holder, said that this one and the YSL one were really prone to breaking and they weren't good quality. So I just wanted to update you to say that this is a smooth kind of lambskin style leather, and this has had heavy wear, and there is like the most microscopic rubbing on the corners, but because it's black you can't see it. The stitching is perfect, it hasn't stretched too much, it's not particularly expensive. I really rate this, and I've used it loads, so I really enjoy these little card cases because I use quite a lot of little tiny bags now. Pair of shoes, been wearing loads since I got these, probably 6 or 7 weeks ago. I've had lots of ones of these in the past. I've got a few different colours. These are the Sam Edelman ballet flats. They're my favourite ballet flats. Obviously my Chanel ballet flats are really pretty, but I try not to wear them heavily for just regular everyday use because I want them to last. And also they have a very flat, obviously, sole with not much support, so they don't work for me with lots of walking. These have got like a very thick gel type sole. If you're heavier like me, yes, I'm getting lighter, but it's a long road. If you're heavier, you sometimes can't get away with, say, like a flip-flop with a very thin leather sole, but you'd be fine with Havaianas. You need some support, and I have got a problem with my right ankle, which goes from when I like twisted it about 2 years ago. It swells, it gets achy, and if I wear trainers all the time it doesn't flare up, but if I wear heels or little flat shoes without much support, it can get really uncomfortable. These I can walk around in all day because they have that gel bit at the bottom, and I love a leopard skin flat. I know that ballet flats are not really having a fashion moment. There are a lot of other like fashion forward shoes, but I like to dip my toe in the water of fashion, but on the whole I like to stick to things that I just know work for me. And these just elevate a lot of very boring outfits. Like I love these with white jeans or any jeans, or sometimes if I wear all black it can look a bit heavy. If you just wear these with a bare foot, it just elevates. So I just love the pony skin and the leopard. I got these from Nordstrom. You can get them from Nordstrom or Sam Edelman in the States and get them delivered here, and it works out about the same as if you get them here through Net-a-Porter or whoever, and you get all the choice of all the fits, because they do a wide fit and a narrow fit, and they do half sizes, and there's just hundreds of colours. So these are the Sam Edelman Felicia ballet flats, and they're my favourite ballet flats. They are casual, I will just say. They all have the brand stitched here in black or in the whatever colour you get, which doesn't really show up so much on these, and then they have a little bow with the branding there. So they are more of a casual ballet flat, but that for most occasions works for me, and if I want to look smarter I will use the Chanel ones. Lots of people ask me about this scarf because I think it was in my Instagram stories or something. It's a Burberry scarf, I can't remember the name. It's one of the ones, it might be called some friends of mine, like I saw this on, I think, Nettie from Nettie's World for You, and is it Laura from Have Louis Will Travel had these, and that's why I wanted to get one, because when it gets too warm to wear my shawls and scarves, I just miss them, because they're real comfort blanket items to me, and they make up my as part of my outfit most of the time. So when it gets a bit warm and stuffy to wear them, I felt like, oh, I miss scarves. So I got this and I wear it so much. It's just a lovely gauzy, quite not giant check, but it's still the blown up check. It's quite wide, but it's definitely more of a long thin scarf. It's not a square or anything. And I find it really easy to throw on. It goes with lots of things because it's very neutral. It hasn't got any of the red in it, just grey and the ivory. It's quite delicate, but it isn't that prone to snagging. I mean, it might catch on things. I will say I don't wear any particularly jaggedy jewellery when I'm wearing this. You can see there's a little kind of gap, but it's not like the Louis Vuitton Stephen Sprouse one or anything. It's more robust than that. I do need to hand wash it. I've done it once before, but I've noticed it's got foundation on it, and it hand washes beautifully, and I dry it on a rack with a towel over it so that there are no lines on the scarf, and it washes up really well. I think that's kind of about it. A couple of dilemmas and things I wanted to just chat about, but I should have really got my bag down to show you for eye candy, but I'll just talk about it anyway. I have got a love-hate relationship with my Chanel Jumbo, and you're all going to go, oh, not again. Backstory. Years ago, I decided when I first got into Chanel that the medium large was just too small for me. I now have it and I actually love it. I used to be very obsessed about the proportion of bags on my frame, and I've kind of gotten over that now. If I like the bag, I'll have the bag, and if it doesn't look perfect on me, I don't really care. Like, it's how I feel about it, and I don't worry about, oh, my arms look really big when I'm holding this bag. I've learned to let go of that. Anyway, so I had a Jumbo originally, but it was a single flap, and it wasn't that heavy because it was a single flap, and I loved it and didn't question it. I loved it, and after about 6 years, I think, 6 or 7 years, it really was showing a little bit of wear and tear to the point that I was interested in upgrading it. So I sold that bag, and obviously I couldn't get a single flap again unless I'd gone down the pre-loved route, but it was probably going to be a very similar level of like wear and tear maybe to mine. My main issue with my one is that it had caved a little bit on the top. There were dents, and even when I really stuffed the bag and everything, like, I couldn't get those out, and it just made it look a bit peaky and sort of pointy at the top, which now I don't care about, but at the time I was like, oh, I don't know. So I ended up getting a double flap. It was lambskin, it had gold hardware, and that was a gift from my husband, and I never really liked that bag, and I had that kind of, oh no, I've made a mistake, and for about a year I just was in denial. It was really, really, really heavy, and I was shocked when I opened the box because I've never actually tried on a double flap. I had my single flap, and then I thought I'll get a double flap because I wanted a new Chanel bag, and I thought, well, the Jumbo's the only one that works for me. I didn't even know about the reissue then, really. And I only used it because it was lambskin. I only used it a couple of times in that whole year, and for special occasions, and I still had my single flap. So I thought, I've got my single flap with silver hardware. Yes, I hadn't sold it yet. And I've got my double flap, which is lambskin and gold. And I thought, oh, they're really different. But actually, I ended up getting rid of both of them to just get one. And I love it. I do love it. I have the caviar with the silver hardware. However, because my other one was gold and lambskin, I didn't wear it that much, and when I did wear it, I would pack it and think, oh my god, it is heavy, but I just pushed those thoughts aside because you just don't get that issue with the single flap. It's much lighter. Anyway, so we went through all this thing 2 years ago where I finally got my forever Jumbo, and I still sometimes feel like that about it, but it hasn't really softened. Like, my medium large has a bit of squish to it, even though it is structured. My Jumbo feels like a box to me, and when I use it, I wouldn't say put this in, because instantly things like that just make the bag so heavy that it bugs me. And other people have said to me, oh, I don't really mind the weight, I think we're all just different. And maybe it's because gradually I've been using a lot of smaller bags and that I really notice the weight. I don't really notice it too much when I'm wearing it on my shoulder double. It's more in videos you tend to do this to show people, and then the bags feel heavy anyway. Anyway, long story short, I really enjoy my Jumbo, but I don't find myself using it that much. It's more like it feels like an essential that you have to tick off in a bag collection. And recently, and I feel kind of a bit cheesed off that everybody's getting the reissue, which makes it look like I'm just getting on that bandwagon. But I have liked the reissue ever since I saw Eva in the City. She sold her Jumbo because it wasn't working out for her and got a small. I wouldn't get the really small one, but she got the 225. And I thought then, like, actually that really suits her and her personality. It's really understated. I love the chain, but I kind of put it out of my mind. And I thought, I have 2 Chanel classics. I can't get a third. That's it. I'm done. But in the last 6 months, I've really been obsessing over the reissue and certain things about it. The way that the base isn't rigid like mine, that it can either come down, you know, they call it the bum, so that it's flat against the body, or you can stuff it and make it flatter. I love that leather. It's got the smoothness of lamb, except it's got all those lines on it, so you don't have to worry about it so much. And I love things that are vintagey and distressed. I love the lock that people don't know it's Chanel. Anyway, I've decided to get, for this, you know, because I get one biggie a year, like one expensive, what I would call really expensive bag a year. And I've talked to Ed about it, and he's like, yeah, that's fine. At the end of the summer, get your reissue. He doesn't like it, by the way, but it doesn't matter. He's not going to say, you can't have it because I don't like it. It's just not his taste. He likes the classics. But I've been not guilty, but I've been feeling like if I get the reissue, which is exactly halfway between the medium large and the Jumbo size-wise, would I still use my Jumbo? So I'm just raising it as a topic for discussion. I haven't made a decision, but I'm thinking that I might sell my Jumbo. And part of me feels really scared about that because I think, oh my God, is this just a mad moment? And then, you know, if I have the reissue and the medium large, will that feel like a good balance? Or will I think sometimes I really wish I still had my Jumbo? So many people love it. I'll keep seeing it on YouTube, and then you'll think, oh, I had that bag, and I might forget about the things that annoyed me and be just like, oh, I really miss it. So I don't know. It's a dilemma. I just don't know if I can justify 3 black flap bags from Chanel. It just feels like too much, but I definitely know that I've done a lot of research, and I really think the reissue would really work for me. It's probably not long enough for me to crossbody, but I don't ever crossbody my Jumbo anyway, because it's too bulky for that. It just looks like a box. So if I'm going to do crossbody, I've got lots of bags that I can crossbody. Anyway, just rambling, just my thoughts. And also, if you hold up, I will do a video about this separately and actually show you the bags. If I hold up my GST and my Jumbo, despite one being a tote and one being a flap bag, I was surprised the other day I was looking at them side by side, and like they're so similar, same leather, same hardware. So it may be that I can lift the Jumbo out of my collection and I won't really notice because I love my GST so much. So I'm not sure. It just means that if I sold the Jumbo, I wouldn't have to kind of take a hit and pay for the reissue. I would almost kind of be swapping one for the other, bar a small amount. And I get this guilt about spending our family's money on handbags. So maybe that's what it's about. So I'd love your suggestions of what to do. The current plan is to buy the reissue in September and have the Jumbo and the reissue for at least 3 or 4 months and see if I still reach for the Jumbo, or if I'm so in love with the reissue that I'm happy to let the Jumbo go. That's kind of where I'm at the moment. I think that's everything I had to talk to you about. Weight loss wise, I've lost 2 pounds this week. I had lots of questions, people asking me to go into detail about what we're doing and stuff around that, because my husband's doing it as well. But I feel like I haven't really cracked it yet and got a formula where I'm losing every week and I'm consistently getting the balance right of getting really good nutrition but dropping the calories. I'm still changing and experimenting, so I think now's not the time to do it. I think the time to do it is when I'm like 4 or 6 months in and I've got a really good amount of weight loss behind me and I'm in a routine and I really know exactly what works for me, because sometimes I'm getting days or weeks where I'm losing, weeks where I'm not losing. So if you could just hold fire, I will do a separate video about that, but it's got to be when I'm further into the journey. Otherwise it's like what I'm doing to lose weight when I've lost weight like for a few weeks. It's not really, it's not the time. Shopping ban hasn't gone that well. Haven't bought anything online, which was the main issue. except I went to Zara with a friend and I tried on a few things and I found lots of things that I liked. I bought one shirt and there was a coat that I've got it here, but there's no point in showing you because I'm sat down. There was a jacket that I really liked and they didn't have the extra large, and so I did come home and order the extra large. It was £70, but when I came home and looked at it online, so I have bought something online. Yeah, it was special price it said, and it was £29.99, and I thought I'm not going to wait for the end of the month because it'll probably be gone, or it'll be back up to £69.99. So I knew that I would probably break my ban. It's more about a guideline, same as with dieting, a guideline of what you're doing most of the time, and then when you slip up, when you look back, it's still a great improvement. So I haven't been just buying clothes and stuff online. I've just bought, what have I bought since I last spoke to you? The jacket, a dress, which I always had planned to buy actually, because we have a big event at school and I need to have something smart. That was from Oasis in the sale, and the Zara blouse, and then this jacket. Haven't bought any Pandora charms, which I was really tempted to do because I went in there to get a present for someone. I haven't bought, and the main thing is I have bought still no makeup, no skincare, apart from SPF, which I needed. We're going to hit a problem soon in that I'm running out of shampoo and conditioner, and I could probably just go to the supermarket and buy inexpensive ones that I quite like, but part of me is like, am I allowed to just go back to my salon and buy my shampoo and conditioner? I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that, because I did say that beauty products was a hard line ban, and I am not going to give in. I've got a wish list in my phone as long as your arm, because there have been new launches and stuff, but I'm just writing them down and I'm thinking about them, and then when I get to the end of the ban I might get them. So I think that's it for now, guys, but it's just a rambling this week. Sorry if it's boring, but I'd rather do it every week and for some of the weeks to be a bit less strong than like start skipping weeks, because I said I was doing a weekly series and I want to really stick to that. So I hope you liked this, and that you have a great week, and I'll see you next week for Be Real 3. In the meanwhile, there will be 2 videos because I filmed one and I'm going to film the other one. I have now filmed my I was really careful about the wording and everything, because people go crazy when you say affordable if something isn't affordable to them, or they think that you're being snotty by calling Mulberry or something affordable. I've been told off before, but I did a video on my less expensive accessories and bags, including this one, and I'm also going to do an empties just because it's old school. I really enjoy watching them, so I thought I would do that one for you. I've got some really good empties saved up in this box that I'm looking at, so I thought I would just pick, not everything in the box will take me like an hour, pick the goodies, the gems, things that I buy over and over again, and share them with you. So I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.